Partnered by Times Influence.
The 7th edition of DMA Annual Awards brought together stalwarts from India Inc. and experts from the marketing and advertising industry to throw light on creative and practical marketing solutions and brand building.
I've been associated with DMA Asia for a couple of years now already, and it's been a wonderful ride contributing and meeting a lot of thought leaders in the industry. I think it's a big learning experience, and at the same time you're able to contribute to the community and really influence the direction of marketing or where it's headed.
Setting the tone for the evening, Vatsal Ashar, CEO and Director, DMAI, welcomed an August gathering comprising of seasoned marketers, top CXOs, students and young entrepreneurs.
This is the 7th DMA India Annual Conference and Awards, and this time it's the Delhi edition. Today amongst us, we have more than 55 corporations that are participating. We have close to 100 delegates that are coming in for the variety of learning sessions throughout the day. Some of you have specifically chosen to attend the earlier part of the intensive learnings of what we call it as the rapid masterclasses. We have more than 55 corporations that are participating. We have close to 100 delegates that are coming in for the variety of learning sessions throughout the day. We will witness more than 20 speakers coming in and sharing insights. And our theme this year is to reimagine marketing.
Through a series of masterclasses, the experts emphasized on the changing face of marketing, from offering insights on fundamental aspects of CRM to the importance of search engine optimization to what makes content click when it comes to multi-million view viral videos. The session saw some power-packed presentations.
When you're thinking one-to-one, when you're thinking direct marketing, when you're thinking customer relationship management, you got to start realizing that you got to start sifting through the multitude of customers, and depending on your product category, they could run into millions, multiple millions, getting through to these people who are usually, by and large, HNIs, VVIPs, commercially important persons, is near impossible. We integrate customer relationship management in everything. There is a 360-degree approach even in customer relationship management. You take every touch point, every possibility to massage, to mollycoddle, to embrace, and to make the relationship warm with your chosen few, who, as we learned right at the beginning, are likely to give you 80% of your profits, those 20%. So it's time we reimagine marketing. I call it the Renaissance. The meaning of Renaissance, which is a noun, is a revival of or renewed interest in something. DM is as old as the hills. In fact, it doesn't have that sheen that digital has today. But I'd encourage you after this, and I hope I've been able to communicate the principles of what you can do. There is a renaissance. And that renaissance is of direct marketing in a digital world. You all are going to be the beneficiaries of that. Thank you.
Google's revenue in India has grown by 22%. Now, if Google's revenue in India has grown by 22%, that means, even though that's paid search, it automatically means organic search also has grown massively. Why? Because organic and paid search are intrinsically linked to each other. Where do they deliver their ads? It's in that organic space. That's where, on that same space, the paid ads come up. So 22% growth in Google ad revenue means organic search is growing rapidly as well. In the US, the stat says that there's 94% of consumers in the US who start their search online. So today, I'm sure all of you will agree, whether you want to buy a house, rent a flat, go on a vacation, search for a job. It's May, people were talking about searching for a job. Everything, what is the first thing you guys do, guys? Tell me, can I have a collective, one name if you had to tell me? What would it be? Google. Once more. Google. Yes, you need to have, yes, you do need to have links. And when I say links, I don't mean crappy quality, bad quality links. It could be brand mentions. Usability in web design. How does the consumer come into the website? How long do they spend on the website? What do they do on the website before they hit the back button and go back to Google? And of course, content. Content is king, queen, jack, right? That's how important content is.
Some person from Google told me a couple of months back that 5 million new smartphones get activated in India every month. That's a crazy number. I mean, internet sasta hai. If by 2020 there'll be 700 million smartphones, to me there's 700 million content consumption devices. There couldn't be a better time to do content what we're doing. And there couldn't be a better country to do this, right? But with this, like this report came out from NASCOM and said that the big wave right now is the tier 2. The big wave is people who are experiencing internet for the first time on their phones, and video is what's what they're consuming a lot. But with this excitement of what's happening in India, there's a big challenge. And the challenge is there is overwhelming content density. There is so much content because the news feeds are chaotic. Branding is about staying relevant because views तो आप खरीद लोगे. आपके budgets हैं Facebook पे, YouTube पे, Instagram पे लगाओ, views तो आ जाएंगे. Like you go watch any video, 4 million views. Look at the engagement, 12 shares. अब 12 share, 4 million. Clearly they've spent money on that, right? Because views can be bought, right? But shares are earned. That engagement is earned, and that's what honestly what matters. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Discussing the role of marketing trends, a panel discussion comprising of the biggest names in India, Inc. deliberated on the importance of creating your own trends, stepping away from the herd, and leveraging digital marketing.
Next session is power-packed panel discussion on a very interesting topic: don't follow trends, create them.
We're a nice motley bunch, and we have a very interesting topic, which is trends. And how do you go against trends, or should you follow trends or create your own trends? A trend genuinely adds a value to the consumer's life over a period of time, which is why it is more likely to stick, because technology is such an integral part of our lives. And yet we marketers are where we are. And hence the question, is there something that we can do differently to better leverage digital marketing?
I always have believed that the strength of digital marketing is that it can be measured. And the biggest drawback for digital marketing is that it can be measured. The objective of digital marketing and any other marketing that we were doing at OLX or at Car Dekho pivoted towards a lifetime value and customer experience.
Right.
We always look at the last mile or the last attributions to calculate the return on investment. And that is really, really a faulty way of looking at it. We expanded the whole cycle. We started looking after the person has landed on the site, how long he or she is with you, what's the value that they derive and they give back to you. And that's when a lot of our marketing spends started to change.
Right.
Maybe more towards brand building like YouTube and so on and so forth, more spends on videos, they started coming into being. That is maybe the one biggest thing that we did in digital marketing, to pivot it and look at a trend from a different perspective.
So since we are on the subject of technology, I'm going to now pull in Sapna. And if Sapna, you could talk to us about how Map My India has actually used technology to be able to help consumers adopt technology more easily.
It's really important to bank on the technology. But now, technology, when it comes to mapping, when it comes to location, has its own challenges. The addresses, like you mentioned about Chennai, having old numbers, new numbers. Think of Bangalore having street names like, or having addresses with 2 street names, 12th Main, First Cross. Think of Mumbai, think of Delhi, where you'd hardly have street names. So it's quite challenging. And what we're seeing is that, in spite of that, the way we are trying to solve that problem is, we capture inputs from consumers. There's an aggregator, there's a platform that aggregates all of it and return it back to you with much more value addition.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you. So with that, I'm going to come to Ramit. And Ramit has a very, very interesting background. You're currently heading digital for Hindustan Times, but you are also a Netflix binge watcher. Yep. And the question I have for you is, are there learnings from the trends that you're seeing with Netflix binge watching that you think could apply to your business?
Netflix, Amazon Prime, and others have proven to us that there is a trend that's emerging, which is that people are willing to pay for original content, for relevant content, for fresh content.
Absolutely.
And it's an overgeneralization of the country and of people in the country to say nobody in India pays for content.
Right.
As online publishers, I think it's an important, and now there's enough numbers to begin to talk of it as a trend, and there's enough people doing it. I think it's important to understand that whatever you're publishing, it's finally content people are engaging with.
Right.
And aimlessly chasing reach and page views for marketers or for publishers is actually means nothing.
Right.
And I think that's something to learn from Netflix, which is people will pay for good content.
I want to pull Vijay into the discussion, who is doing some stellar work to serve the needs of the underprivileged or the unserved in banking. And there is some great work that Vijay is doing in doing different stuff from what banks are doing.
Ujjivan is actually a new bank. The Reserve Bank of India calls it a differentiated bank. And institutions and banks like Ujjivan have two purposes. One is to bank the unbanked, and the second is to take banking to the last frontier, because there are millions and millions of Indians who still are outside the formal system of banking.
Since personalization is integral to technology and the way we are going, and it's not just a trend, it is more likely to become something that's taken for granted almost in terms of how marketers serve the need for personalization.
Sure. So I'm also going to contextualize this as a marketer from what happens behind the scenes.
Right.
Because typically we talk about what we've done on the consumer front. So for personalization at MobiKwik, so we look at personalization in three different parts. One is analyzing the data. Second is automating the personalization. And third is presenting a personal experience to you. So to do this, coming behind the scenes, what we actually do is we have this whole concept of the growth stack, wherein right from the acquisition, activation, retention, referral, revenue, we have specific KPIs for each one of them. For activation, obviously, we have the CPIs and the CPCs, and then for the retention, and we keep getting the lifetime value of the customer and all that kind of stuff, and how much revenue we're actually getting. So we've identified technology which seamlessly fits into each other and gives a marketer a real-time view of what's happening at the platform.
I'd like to conclude that with the thought on there is nothing called getting the trend right. It's all, you get it right in hindsight, but when you do what you have to do, then you do it purely basis instinct and basis everything that you've learned over a period of time.
Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned. An erudite panel discussion that deliberated on the theme of future gazing, marketing for tomorrow, with an emphasis on rethinking brand strategies in today's day and age.
The session is about how industry experts plan to deal with the rising internet usage trend and engage with the millions of users. The topic is Future Gazing, Marketing for Tomorrow.
The title of this panel is Brand Strategy for Next Wave of Internet Users. And Sujata, given your sort of background at Coca-Cola before and now at a very internet-savvy company called Google, does brand strategy really need a rethink?
Definitely think brand strategy needs a rethink, because the way people are interacting with technology has changed drastically over the years. And I'd just like to say 4 points. I actually call it, for ease of reference, the 3 V's and 1 I. So the first V is voice. People are using internet in a very different way. We're getting into a lot of local languages. There's a program that we have at Google called Internet Sathi, where we take the internet to the women in rural India. And the way they have, many of them are illiterate, many of them don't know how to type, have never touched a mobile in their life, but with voice, they're able to use the internet in a big way. The second V is linked to this, which is vernacular. So today, I don't know how many of you know, but 90% of video content that's viewed in India is not viewed in English. So less than 10% is viewed in English. More than 60% of video content viewed in India is outside the 6 metros. So the moment you get into numbers like this, you are looking at not English, but different languages. So therefore, the way we plan our brand strategy cannot be English first anymore. The third is video, and I know a lot of people talk about it, but how do you get mobile first? How do you actually start making your brand strategies to think of your creative focusing on 2 things? One, a small screen. And if you all use your smartphone, you'll see that most of the time, people are looking at videos without the sound. So how do you get the message across in an audio-off environment? And the fourth, which I said is called, or the I, is the influencer. Because what we're seeing today is that, the role of celebrities has gone down, and what people are looking for is actually influencers who really believe in the product or your brand and pass the benefits.
I want to move to Shankar here. Shankar, your view is that customer is defining the future of marketing, and things are sort of turning on its head. Can you tell us a little bit about what's the strategy that brands need to follow as they look to the future?
As we speak, let me tell you, BSE has become world's fastest exchange. It's not because we wanted to show off. It's because the customers in finance want people or want exchanges which are fastest. It gives the advantage. If someone wants chips without increasing the calorie intake, has someone come out with it? I don't think. Today, marketers are just marketing things which their bosses tell or the companies say, you market this. We have to look at what the customers want.
You need the permission and then take things forward. And you have a very nice term called permission marketing for it. So what's the impact? What do you see the bigger challenges? What's the effect on campaigns, outreach, content? Can you just elaborate a little bit?
So thanks, Kaustubh. I think on one side, there is a scarier picture of the regulation and the GDPR and the other. So it's happening in EU, and Australia is going to follow suit, and I'm sure other advanced countries are going to start following and learning from what EU learns. So with the permission, with this comes the requirement of permission marketing in that sense. And I think it is important for us to understand that on one side, it is scarier because the financial liabilities are going to be prohibitive in one sense. But at the same time, for a marketer, it's a golden opportunity.
So what I gather from some of the comments is that we have the new 4 Ps of marketing. One is sort of the programmatic nature of it, the privacy influenced, permission seeking, and performance-based.
The evening saw the influencer meetup powered by LinkedIn filled with conversations, networking, and the presence of the biggest names from India's marketing fraternity. Speed dating with a difference comprised of 6 subject experts throwing light on their area of expertise. Virginia Sharma from LinkedIn set the tone with her topic, marketing technology. The gala evening culminated into the DMA Asia CMO Choice Awards, recognizing and saluting players who've made a difference through their branding, marketing, and advertising solutions. The first category in the DMA Marketing Influencer Citation is Financial Services, and the winner is Vishwajit Parashar, Bajaj Capital. We have another citation for the category of Financial Services, and the winner is Nikhil Rastogi, Citibank. For the category Consumer Products, the winner is Sujata Kumar, Google. For the category hospitality, the winner is Abhishek Tiwari, Hyatt. The next category is travel, and the winner is Ashish Chopra, Ixigo. For the category e-commerce, the winner is Prasoon Kumar, magicbricks.com. The next category is payments, and the winner is Damandeep Singh, MobiKwik. For the category of pharma, and the winner is Bhavna Mittal, Reckitt Benckiser, India. For the category lifestyle retail, the winner is Konya Khanna, Swarovski. For the next category, software ITES, our winner is Amit Sinha Roy, Tata Communications Limited. For the category Microfinance Financial Services, the winner is Vijay Balakrishnan, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. And the last category, infrastructure, and the winner is Ram Jalan, Wave Infratech.
If we look at any vertical, whether it is education, whether it is healthcare, we can see massive adoption of technology happening where consumer interaction, consumer acquisition, consumer engagement, all of that is being serviced or provided to the consumer over the digital channel. And likewise in government departments, if you see, there is enough and more happening on e-governance, m-governance, and we practically see it in all of our daily lives when we are interacting with even government machinery, that it is already now, whether you want to follow your Aadhaar or your PAN cards or your income tax returns, all of that can be now done through technology. So it is clear that India is well underway in terms of digital transformation.
Today's DMA Asia event was a wonderful experience. The speakers gave their thoughts and also backed up with the slides and the videos. It was a very interesting combination. And one could experience that the marketing teams were really enthusiastic of what they were doing. Even the panel discussions, very relevant topics were talked about, especially the ROI and marketing, whether it's useful or not. And it was a good event.
If we have to succeed, there is no other way but to have innovation and marketing going side by side. I would say for any organization's existence, succeeding, you have to have the strategy, you have to have the vision, and that is provided by the marketing.
Partnered by Times Influence.